Yo, what's up guys, King Sean here, and in today's video, I am bringing you guys my first mock draft of the offseason for the Commanders, Mock Draft 1.0, post Senior Bowl edition. Senior Bowl just wrapped up a couple days ago on Saturday when they had their game, and last week was Senior Bowl practice week, so today I want to bring you guys my first mock draft of the offseason on this Mock Draft Monday. I'll be having a ton more mock drafts this offseason, so stay tuned for those. The Commanders have 6 picks in the draft right now. We have 6 because we traded our second and fourth round pick to the Texans last year in the Laremy Tunsil trade. So we have a third round pick, we have a first round pick, a third round pick, a fifth round pick, 2 6th round picks, and a 7th round pick. So, we could acquire more picks during the draft if we trade back from 7, but, we'll get into all that as the offseason moves forward. So before we get into today's video, make sure y'all leave a like down below, subscribe if you're not already subbed up to the channel, and turn on notifications. And with that out of the way, let's get straight into today's video. All right, so round 1, pick 7, I have the Commanders selecting edge rusher David Bailey out of Texas Tech, and I absolutely love David Bailey. He is my top edge rusher prospect in this year's draft class, followed by Rueben Bain Jr. and TJ Parker out of Miami and Clemson. Rueben Bain out of Miami, Parker out of Clemson. But David Bailey is such a dog, man. This past season at Texas Tech, he had 14.5 sacks and 3 forced fumbles. I mean, that sack total is just unbelievable. That includes the college football playoffs, by the way, where pretty sure he had 1 sack against Oregon. The season before, 2024, had 7 sacks. He was with Stanford before transferring to Texas Tech this past season. Again, to me, he's the best edge rusher in this draft class. He's 6'3", 250 pounds. He is a little undersized, and that's really the case with a lot of edge rushers in this draft class. They are not the prototypical size you'd expect for an edge rusher, but honestly, David Bailey is so much of a baller that it really won't matter a ton. Plus, his size isn't that bad compared to a guy like Rueben Bain, and I don't really, care that Rueben Bain is that undersized. I mean, I care a little bit, it matters, but, David Bailey's size isn't that bad compared to Rueben Bain's stature, right? David Bailey, obviously high production in college. He has amazing burst and explosion off the line of scrimmage. He has a pass rush bag. I mean, he has so many tools in his pass rush bag. He has a spin move. He has a rip. He has incredible bend, man. I mean, his bend is so good. When you turn on the tape, when you just watch some of the games, if you watch the college football playoffs, Texas Tech versus Oregon, you saw David Bailey dominate that game. And although Texas Tech got shut out that game, I mean, you saw what David Bailey could be as a pass rusher in the NFL. He has bend. He has the speed, the explosion off the line of scrimmage. He has it all. He is the best pass rusher in the draft class. Now, some of the things he can improve on is he could be a better run defender. And honestly, when I watched him, I don't think he's as bad as a run defender as people say. Could he improve? Yes, but I feel like he's a pretty decent run defender right now. Definitely not as good as a run defender as he is a pass rusher, but, right now as a run defender, I don't think he's as bad as people say. But that he could definitely improve there. Also, he could add some power to his game, add some strength, right? He's not the most powerful rusher. I don't think he has a super strong bull rush, so that could be something he looks to improve on in the NFL. And then he's usually a stand-up rusher, doesn't really have his hands in the dirt at all, so he might be more of a 3-4 outside linebacker in the NFL, stand-up rusher, right? So we'll have to see there. But, man, other than that, David Bailey is such a beast of a prospect. He's so good. And if he's there for the taking at 7, I could see a team like the Browns who are at 6 taking him ahead of us, pairing him up with Myles Garrett. I could see that, but, man, if Bailey's there at 7, I am rushing to the podium and turning the card in, taking him in with no regrets, because we need a guy like David Bailey rushing the quarterback for us. Next up, round 3, pick 71. I have it selecting another Texas Tech defender, linebacker Jacob Rodriguez. Jacob Rodriguez was the best defensive player in college football. Well, he was rewarded with that award, and the best linebacker. So he is an absolute dog, man. He was at the Senior Bowl last week, and he looked very well. He looked very good at the Senior Bowl. He was very productive at Texas Tech over the past 2 seasons. In 2024, had 127 tackles, 5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, and an interception. And then this past season, 128 tackles, 1 sack, 7 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, and 4 interceptions. So Jacob Rodriguez was an absolute beast, and he's a guy who really has it all besides prototypical size, and that's the biggest reason why he's projected to go around this range, third, second round. Honestly, after the Senior Bowl, he might go round 2, but there's a chance he falls to round 3, goes early round 3, and we are picking early round 3 since we have the 71st overall pick. So Rodriguez is 6'1", 233 pounds, and he has 31-inch arms. So less than ideal size for an NFL linebacker. Fred Warner, take him for example. He is, I would say the best linebacker in the NFL. He's 6'3" and around 230, 240 pounds. I'm pretty sure. He might be a little heavier than that. But yeah, your ideal size is like 6'3" and also longer arms. Jacob Rodriguez kind of has shorter arms with 31-inch arms. So it's one of the biggest reasons why he's kind of lower on a lot of teams' boards. However, this guy is so good at playing linebacker. High production at Texas Tech, like I just noted. Has great instincts against the run. Has solid lateral movement skills. And he has 13 career forced fumbles. So he looks for the ball, attacks it, and gets the ball out, which is really good to see. And for this team, we need guys who have a knack for producing turnovers that look to turn the ball over. And Jacob Rodriguez would be a perfect guy for that. Now, some other weaknesses he has. He can improve in coverage. Now, at the Senior Bowl this past week, he did look pretty good in the clips I saw of him one-on-one versus running backs. He did a pretty good job of, staying on backs, manning up with them. So there's that. I will say he could get a little bit better in zone coverage. Sometimes his eyes get a little lost in zone coverage, so that's something he can improve at. Also, he doesn't have elite sideline-to-sideline speed. Although, he has great play recognition, awareness, good instincts, he doesn't have the greatest sideline-to-sideline speed, so that is something to notice right there. But, overall, this guy, to me, I feel like the only reason why he's projected so low right now in the draft is because of his size. If he was just taller and had longer arms, he would probably be projected as a first-round pick, to be honest with you, because he's that good of a linebacker. However, due to his size and lack of some speed, he is projected lower. But, man, if he is there at our pick 71, this is a guy that I would love. We need an upgrade at the linebacker position. I don't think Bobby Wagner is going to return. There's a chance he could, but I don't think he'll come back. And we need better at linebacker. We need a younger guy. We need a guy with speed. And although Rodriguez doesn't have the greatest speed, he is quick. I will say that he is quick and he has great instincts. He's smart. He would come in here and be our Bobby Wagner replacement, in my opinion, and I would love that because he's an absolute dog of a linebacker. Next up, round 5, pick 155. So remember, we don't have a second round pick or a fourth round pick because we traded our second and fourth to the Texans for Laremy Tunsil. So just keep that in mind. Only 6 picks. We have 2 6th-round picks coming up, so I'll talk about this after this pick. Receiver Kevin Coleman Jr. out of Missouri. He's another guy that was at the Senior Bowl, and he performed very well at the Senior Bowl. Had a very good week, stood out to a lot of scouts and teams. In college, he's been with 4 different schools, 4 different teams, which is crazy to me. In his freshman year, 2022, he was at Jackson State. Then the following year, he transferred to Louisville. In the following year, 2024, he transferred to Mississippi State. And then from Mississippi State, he transferred to Missouri for his final year, 2025, where he put up 66 catches, 732 yards, and a touchdown. And then at Mississippi State in 2024, had 74 catches, 932 yards, and 6 touchdowns. So Kevin Coleman Jr., pretty good production for him. Only had 1 touchdown this past season, so that's pretty disappointing. But if you watch his tape, man, this guy is really good. He has really nice potential. He's 5'11", 180 pounds, so he does have a smaller frame, which is a bit of a concern. We'll get to that in a bit, but for his strengths, he's an explosive and shifty receiver. He honestly reminds me a little bit of Luther Burden. Came out last year. I think Luther Burden is more explosive and shifty than him, but Coleman has a bit of that explosiveness too. Feels like these Missouri receivers kind of share that explosiveness, although these two guys didn't play together, right? But yeah, Coleman has that. He has great quickness. He's a very smooth route runner. He showed that off at the Senior Bowl during one-on-one drills. And he's really good at getting yards after catch, run after catch. He's really good at that. So, again, similarities to Luther Burden III from last year, right? So I really like Kevin Coleman as a prospect. Now, some things that are weaknesses in this game: he doesn't have amazing vertical speed. He has really good underneath speed, and that's good to have. But vertically, he does need to get a little bit better. Also, his route tree isn't the greatest, but I feel like that's because of the way Missouri ran their offense and utilized him. Kind of like Luther Burden last year, who did not have a great route tree because of the way Missouri utilized him. They utilized him on more screen passes, trick plays, gadget plays, underneath stuff. Missouri used Kevin Coleman Jr. the same way, so that's why his route tree is a little underdeveloped, right? But once he gets into the NFL, he can definitely develop his route tree for sure. And due to his size, he's going to struggle against physical corners and press man coverage, or just man coverage in general, right? So that can be a concern right there. But I really like Kevin Coleman Jr. as a prospect. He really impressed me with the clips I saw and the way people talked about him. He was very impressive at the Senior Bowl. And we need another receiver. We need a couple more receivers, to be honest with you. We have to upgrade this receiver core, and getting Kevin Coleman Jr. in the 5th round would definitely be one of the ways we could upgrade this receiver core. All right, next up, round 6, pick 185. Got us taking safety Bishop Fitzgerald out of USC. This guy is an underrated safety prospect, in my opinion. He has 10 total interceptions in his collegiate career. Spent 2 seasons at North Carolina State, 2023 and 2024, and then this past season he was with USC, had 5 interceptions with them, and had 5 interceptions with NC State. So he's got really good production throughout his collegiate career. He is 5'11", 205 pounds. He's actually from Woodbridge, Virginia, so he's from the DMV area, which is pretty cool. He has the versatility to play in the slot, but as well as deep free safety, and we know we could use an upgrade at deep free safety. I mean, Quan Martin has not been able to get it done for us, and we have to have an upgrade. We have to find someone to replace him, and maybe a guy like Bishop Fitzgerald could do so. He has great production and actual range to play free safety. He has high awareness and play recognition, which is good as well, something that Quan Martin also does not have. Now, due to his size, he may struggle against bigger tight ends. So, like I said, he's 5'11", 205, so that shorter frame, he may struggle working against tight ends. So, that is a concern right there. He also does need to take better angles to the ball carrier. So, his mistakes as a tackler, taking bad angles, has made him an inconsistent tackler throughout his collegiate career. So, that's something he needs to get better at for sure. But this guy has really good production. He has the range. He has the versatility. He has the traits to be a pretty good safety in the NFL. May start off, he's projected to get taken on day 3, so may start off as a special teamer, but over time, as he develops, may get more snaps on the defense and develop into a pretty good starting safety in the league. That's just my projection of him. We'll see, but, this is a guy that we could very much so target on day 3 of the draft, and specifically in the 6th round. With our second 6th round pick 207, I am selecting cornerback out of Oregon, Jaden Kennedy. This guy is underrated as a cornerback prospect. I like him a lot, man. He had 2 interceptions this past season at Oregon, 6 pass deflections, and 1 forced fumble. He's really, really good. He's been with 3 teams in his collegiate career. First 2 seasons in college, 2021 and 2022, he was at Tulane. Then he transferred to Ole Miss and spent time at Ole Miss for his 2023 and 2024 seasons. And then this past season, transferred to Oregon, and now he's declared for the draft, obviously. But he had his best statistical season this past season with Oregon. At Oregon, he was used primarily in the slot and around the box, so he was that nickel back for them, and he was really freaking good for them. He's a versatile weapon who can be moved all around the defense. Again, like I said, he was used in the slot and around the box. He is physical in man coverage despite his size. He is 5'11", 185 pounds, so you would think that he's not that physical of a cornerback, but he is. He'll come up and make a tackle. He doesn't care to get himself a little dirty. He'll come up, make that tackle around the line of scrimmage, and he's good at that. He has pretty good ball skills, and he has really good play recognition as well. So those are all really great things to hear. Right now, our cornerback situation is pretty dire. I mean, right now, our only for sure starting cornerback is Trey Amos on the outside. With Mikey Sanders, though, we really don't know where he will play. Will he play, in the slot as our nickel or on the outside? We don't know what Mikey is, right? So drafting a guy like Jaden Kennedy would provide us with more depth and also a potential starter who could start for us in the slot slash nickel. I know technically that's Mikey's spot, but at the same time, we don't know where Mikey's going to play. So, drafting a guy like Jaden Kennedy wouldn't be a bad idea. Now, he does need to improve at his tackling angles. Although he's a willing tackler, he does need to improve as a tackler. Also, due to his size, he struggles to get off blocks, and he tends to be overly aggressive in man coverage at times. So, you like his physicality, but at the same time, you can't be overly aggressive or else, you might get flagged in the league for something like a pass interference or a holding, right? So, that's the problem with sometimes being super physical man coverage in college. That could translate over to the NFL, and you could be getting called for more flags, right? But that's just something he needs to cut down on. Just, love the physicality, just cut down on the aggressiveness a little bit, right? But, man, I really like Jaden Kennedy as a prospect. He was at the Shrine Bowl, not the Senior Bowl, but was at the Shrine Bowl, and he stood out a little bit there to scouts and teams out there. So this is a guy that I'd definitely be interested in taking in the later rounds in the draft. Then finally, with our 7th round pick, I have us selecting defensive tackle out of Duke, Aaron Hall. And to me, defensive tackle is a need. We have 3 D tackles on our roster: Johnny Newton, Deron Payne, Javon Kinlaw. But those 3 guys really haven't been living up to the money we've given them. Deron Payne, Javon Kinlaw. I guess Javon Kinlaw is okay, but not the greatest. And then Johnny Newton, he hasn't been living up to that 2nd round pick hype. So feel like we got to bring another D tackle in, whether that's through free agency or the draft. And I was selecting Aaron Hall, defensive tackle out of Duke, 6'4", 290 pounds, according to the ESPN website. And he's pretty solid guy to take really at the back end of the draft. He had 2.5 sacks this past season at Duke and 3.5 sacks the previous season, 2024. That's his career high. He's a versatile guy. He can line up across the D-line. He can even line up on the edge, so that's good. He does a good job of stopping the run and has a pretty nice bull rush, so he has good power. Some of his weaknesses, he's a below-average pass rusher right now, so he's more of a run defender, run stopper, rather than a pass rusher, which is fine because, we brought Javon Kinlaw to primarily be a run stopper for us, and he was good the first couple weeks, but as the D-line got banged up more and more, Kinlaw became less and less effective at stopping the run, and the whole team as well. So we weren't great at stopping the run this past season anyways. So bringing in a guy to help us do that would be good, and Aaron Hall can help definitely help us with that, although he needs to improve as a pass rusher. And then sometimes he does struggle to shed blocks against the run, so that's definitely something he needs to improve at as well. But overall, this is a guy that, we need D-tackle help and a guy to look at in the back of the class to just help us with that stopping the run, getting to the quarterback on the interior would be a guy like Aaron Hall. So that's who I have us taking with our 7th round pick number 223 overall. So that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Comment down below your thoughts on my mock draft post Senior Bowl edition. Once again, what picks did you like? What picks do you disagree with? Let me know down in the comment section below. And other than that, it's been King Sean, and I'm out. Peace.